Need to raise funds for your next creative project, event, or invention? Or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much-needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much-needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
Broken me a moment to catch my breath. It's hard to relate when you're already lost. Do you agree? Just know I am your God. Then try to know, then try to know, then try to know, yeah. And there's reason for this halo.
Hello, good night, and welcome everybody to another installment of Kelocal.
Hell no.
Featuring your host, Kelno. See there? Kaboom. I stole it. That's so cheesy. That is so cheesy. I want to blame, if all you don't like that, that's Vish Graphics. Yeah. So we at episode 18. I'm not sure. We planning what we doing for Christmas and all of that. Me and Vish was having some talks here. Anyway, and to open the show, we had Broken by Andromeda. I should wear my glasses. Stray by Upset the Order, 708 by Checklist, and Changes by Insert Coin. Now, I don't know what's going on with Vish tonight. This man hijacked me. I don't normally start off the show that heavy-ish now, but he was like, I don't know what he doing. And I see him set up some ancillary things around the place. I don't know what he up to tonight. Some kind of mischief. He told me he's still recovering. He's still recovering from FU Festival. Mm-hmm. Which part? The performance part or the
Performance
or the after performance part?
After performance.
That's what we talking about, Vish. I thought you were just like a nice, quiet, or otherwise uptight guy.
Everybody thinks so.
Yeah. It's good to know that you could, slack off. So anyway, we're gonna slow it down.
No.
That's not slowing it down. Yeah. No, Vish hijacking with there again. So much old people music there, Vish. Mm-hmm. It's back to your diaper hour. Right, so we continue the music. A little later on, we have Mr. Denny Ablack coming in to talk about some interesting things. Trinidad music of all types. He, as a musician, I guess historian now, and curator of that channel on Facebook. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Chris Bar, all you out there? All you out there? I know all you always, Who not, boy? Donny. Good night, Donny, Rahil, Ishipai, K. Who's K? Secret K. Where Ishipai say her neck is still hurting from all the headbanging at FU Festival. How Ishipai, give me some notes now. How we boy do there? How Vish was with, what was the official name of the Hatter of Oz. The Hatter of Oz. Vish was a guitarist with that band. Tell me how we did, right? In the meantime, we're going back to some music from, well, let's see if we can figure it out.
Never know a cold love could have burned me so. Thought the old flame did burn not so long ago. Now I don't know if I should stay or should go. Never know a whole love could have burned me so. I never know it could have burned me. 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 Never know a whole love could have burned me so. Thought the old flame did burn not so long ago. Now I don't know if I should stay or should go. Never know a whole love could have burned me so. I never know it could have burned me. 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 Never know a cold love could have burned me so. Thought the old flame did burn not so long ago. Now I don't know if I should stay or should go. Never know a whole love could have burned me so.
Jah know it make me weak and it hurt so bad. Never know your love could have make us stop make me think about the birds and the bees where we sit on with the trees on a park in a Trinidad. Long time things used to be good, now things bad. Can't go back to the meantime, I'd change all the things that didn't make it drag. Like the time when I hurt you with the picture on my phone and the next girl in a party. When I make you cry, kind like another guy. When I shout and get angry for them time, I can't stop say that I'm sorry. Still won't change how you feel about makeup if I never know. Now I know that's a cool of feel like a kerosene.
Never know it coulda hurt me. I never know it coulda hurt me. I never know it coulda hurt me. I never know it coulda hurt me.
With a this and a that and a that and a this is when you well tried any water. I miss gotta lose a best girl over some trippiness and never get nothing off feel like this. Take off for granted she lose interest. Man I come wrong and you lose a mistress. All because of one mistake. Next time not take that risk. Gonna mess around with Kelly, Trisha, and forget about your girl Alicia. If that's the case, it's good she leave ya. But if it's not, then sorry me brother. I suggest that you find another. It wasn't meant to be played so bad. These things happen often because relationships always get better.
been like this all week. A realization of ill across nations, the problems to come on. Is that what is true? There's so much to do to rectify situations. Oh no, devastating tornadoes of issues. Oh no, how they rip through all of our lives. Oh no, possessions and power are misused. Oh no, causing more issues to arise. Well, that's all fall down. Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Oh, tell me what in the world has a world come to when a man wanders crowded streets and sooner be judged rather than greeted, treated like a mobile meat. Mama birthed us all in a space so small, but the grain of sand in the sea. Then why stand so tall to make others feel small? Can we work collectively? Oh no, it forces numbers to wonder. Oh no, if future generations have thought of it all. Oh no, all sexes and races ponder. Oh no, when will all this all fall down? Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Ain't it different to notice there's space? Ain't it different to notice at all? When will we learn from the errors of our ways? When will we change? When I was a child, I ran around wild with a not a care in my mind. I lived in the trees amongst the cool breeze. That was where I'd spend my time. I'd look to the sky and pretend to fly anywhere I'd want to say. But the final destination with a content population today couldn't be so easy. Oh no, devastating tornadoes of issues. Oh no, how they rip through all of our lives. Oh no, possessions and power are misused. Oh no, causing more issues to arise. When will this all fall down? Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues, everybody's got issues. Issues, so many issues. Issues. Oh no. Issues, so many issues.
Everybody, watch your back or they'll watch it for you. This is not a trail. This is not a trail. Fuck that shotgun, 'cause I'm not interested. Keep it down and turn around and go. Fuck that shotgun, that's twice already. Take it in and let it go. It's about time that I thought of me. You should dismiss in a heartbeat. Stick to that and don't trust anybody. Don't agree, well no one asked you. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And fuck that shotgun, 'cause I'm not interested. Keep it down and turn around and go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Fish. You can fat the shock up now. This is all this music has brought to you courtesy Fish's Diaper Hour. he hijacked my old man music. Yeah, that was Fat the Shock Up by Skid Navely. Before that, Issues by Treads of Scarlet out of Barbados. Real good stuff. Cosmic Outflow by Alexis Machine. You can name the guitarist of all these bands? There will be a quiz at the end of this year, sir. Because as full your head with trivia, there will be a quiz. Alexis Machine is? Andy was the singer. He was playing bass in Alexis. That was Joel Beezer. And before that, Cold Love from Kin Sound System. Who's the guitarist? Q1. All right. Who's the guitarist for Skid?
Skid, oh God, Andrew.
Yes, you get 5 points for Andrew, but you lose 4 points for stuttering. He was also the guitarist. He's also the guitarist. So you are surprised. You're not supposed to reveal yourself just yet. Anyway, so I'm going to try to go back with some old people music here now, right? For before Denny reach and So I'll play some of his stuff as well, right? This is to help you with your exam at the end of the year, all right? So up next we have this song was so much fun when it came out. We had him on here a few weeks ago. This is Fishnin' by the Supernormal Band.
Tilapia, 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 cascadora, cascadora, cascadura, 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 cascadura. Early in the morning when you hear the fishman calling, tilapia, tilapia. Late in the evening when you hear the fishman passing, cascadora, cascadora. Fish, Jerry, moonshine, Joshua. Tilapia, 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 cascadora, 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 cascadora. Early in the morning when I go to the market, tilapia, tilapia. Late in the evening what my butt is what's a cooking, cascadora, cascadora. Fish, Jerry, moonshine, Joshua. Fish, Jerry, moonshine, Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, Joshua. Fish, carrot, moonshine, Joshua. Fish, carrot, moonshine, Joshua. Joshua, Joshua, Joshua.
Yeah. Super girl.
I wanna be Supergirl destruction, my kryptonite. It's her only weakness that never
Girl, yeah.
jumping up now. Your people lining up just the same. If they could get it for free, Lord. The papers write it up, on TV digging it up now. But radio fucking up, what's it right? Oh, what's it right? Oh, they're holding the head and the bowling on the side of the street. People, plenty people. It's the hole in the belly and vomiting on the side of the street where good folks used to meet. All the ghettos in a mess. They don't understand the silhouette. For the best now. The ministry of heaven in a jam. They don't understand. They say like some unknown virus. I just hit the line. And them are calling for these 6-piece original, a portion of distortion, some old emotion to get them high. 6-piece original, a portion of distortion, some old emotion to get them high. You fast food in town. We adding you flavor around. And people calling me up, and people mailing me up now. But radio fucking up. But say what? What, say what? I have my people, my pretty people, with the hole in the head and ballin' on the side of the street where good folks used to meet. Oh my people, my lovely people, with the hole in the belly and the vomiting on the side of the street where all my friends meet. Don't leave me in a mess. Please understand this. Ministry of love's in a jam. They don't understand the filth and fury. I just hit the land. Hey, them are calling for this 6-piece original, a portion of distortion, some old emotion to get them high. 6-piece original, a portion of distortion, some old emotion to get them high. Yes, miss, yes, miss, yes, miss, you know I want this now. Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, you see me tired of it and I'm so sad.
Yep. Old people music there, Vish. Old people. You see how Vish watching me with scorn there. Vish, you know who you know who that last band was? You can't watch it take. That was Nothing by Flying Crapo featuring me. But wait, no, I never told. Right, okay.
That's not Hornerman Smooth.
No, it's not Hornerman Smooth there, Denny. Before that, the New Fast Food by Joint Pop, Reverse Back by Cabezon, Supergirl's Destruction by Transylvania Zoo. We have the guitarist for that band coming in to be interviewed in like 2 minutes. So you get past that part of the quiz, right? You know who the guitarist is for for Transylvania Zoo. And before that, everybody knows Fishing by the Supernormal Band. So anyway, before we bring in Denny Ablack to talk about some interesting things, let's check these comments. So Donny confirming that you're not a nice quiet, reserved guy. You are a troublemaker indeed, sir. Lisa X, good night. Ishi Pai the Trini Weeb. Hatter of Oz was freaking awesome. Yeah, he putting up symbols that he really appreciate that comment. You know, Rahel. Yeah, if Mini Kelo come, we should get Kelo. We should pop a little screen instead of Mini Kelo, so that he can stand up there and grimace at what me and Vish do to his show and how we have brought it to rubble. Hey, look, Leanne. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Leanne. Leanne says she loved the pic. So I feel every week I'm going to have to try to improve this picture. This one, for those of you who just listening in, you wouldn't be seeing this, but I did some slight improvements to the static page holding photo that we use, featuring Kelocal. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, look at comments. I just scroll down. Chromatics. Big up Kelo always. Of course, this is Kelocal. This is our show. And for those of you who might be new to it and don't know, Kelocal was a show born of the pandemic. This man was doing this from his house, just playing local music because he was a local musician as well. And it's awesome that people liked it. I remember Richeline Emmanuel and a few other people messaging me and messaging everybody they know, hey, the show on, whatever. I think it was live on Facebook at the time. But now it's part of the O.U.R radio network. Speaking of which, look at the top of the comments section there. We have a link pinned to donate 6-8. You know, a little donation towards the show will go a long way. We could keep the lights on. You notice none of the lights flickering and whatnot. That's some help we've been getting. I hope, and hopefully not coming out of DJ's pockets. So yeah, check it out. Where's what Ishipai? Kelo the long lost brother that was refound. Yeah, apparently it is a prerequisite to be a host on the show that you need to have an awesome beard and some level of grace going on, even though it might be under dye and you know. Yeah, Valdez Brooks, boy, Valdez, I taking your show. There's a new show, Outer National, where this week I can't remember what day it was. Interviewing artists and whatnot, and you know, connecting us to the bigger world. A real good show there, Mr. Valdez. Yeah, people still like Skid Neville, obviously, because they're awesome. How were they? In FU? Skid 182. What was their show name? Their stage name?
Yeah, Skid 182.
Skid 182. Well, all right. Yeah, because they yeah.
All right.
Well, I know they were doing a Blink 182 thing, and I know that was their era. And yeah, Blink 182 was like the most popular punk band around that time. As a matter of fact, that's Barry Bibby from why I forget the name of the band. Barry Bibby.
As you say, you forget that. Like I forget it.
A Tripped and Fallen. That was one of Tripped and Fallen favorite bands and influences and whatnot.
And that my left-handed brethren.
Yeah, left-handed guitarist. Valdez, yes boy, in my car too. But here's the opportunity to dig up some old tunes. You know, come to think of it as anyhow. I'll bring up that with Denny in a little bit. I'll questioning how limited the pool of rock music is if we're going to reach the end of it soon. Hopefully, bands like Vishon and then come out with some new recordings soon, and we can feature some new things. You know. Akira in Workway. Well, I hope. At least you're making it a little lighter by tuning in. Yes, Genevieve, it's DJ Kelno. We are officially taking over. That is my Christmas gift to this nation. Kelno, DJ Kelno. Little by little, we're going to, there will be merchandise soon. I feel I'll give away Kelno merchandise after the quiz. Right? So you don't get away. You still have to prep for it there, sir. DJ.
You could be Keenan
and Kelno. Yeah. Ooh. Look, people making friends through the station. Elite FX telling Ishipai it was great meeting at FU Fest. Who you meet at FU Fest?
Plenty of people. I forget.
You forget. All right. Evo. Yes, right. Evo the ever present. Evo was here a few weeks ago. Nice to see you there, bro. Where Vish earlier on this year, when they stopped showing Kelo face, they used to have the name of the song and band running across the screen in the intervening periods. Yeah, can we get that back? I agree. I was wondering,
I can put that back up now tonight if you want. Sure.
Flickering and Study almost playing a hill. Almost. But anyway, we getting ready to welcome Denny Ablack to the show. But before we do that, here's what I'm doing, right? We're gonna pay some bills, and when we come back, I'm running one song. Now that song is a song that another project that Denny Ablack is in, other than Transylvania Zoo. Him and the drummer from Transylvania Zoo have a writing team called Dread Eye Masters. Right? It's real muxy, but it's real serious messages they're sending as well. But Denny, being the guitarist that he is, hide. And so the version of the song is the quiz version, he's called it, right? He hide a lot of melody and hook lines from other popular songs in the song, right? It's about 11 of them, I think. So after the ad, listen to the first song that play. You will know it. It'll start with this one, this one. This one. I'll let it when I hear the song. But you will know. You'll hear the professor. Come on, see if you can name all of them. And at the end of the interview, we could probably ask Denny to identify them, right? So pay attention. Get your notebooks out and pay attention to this ad.
Need to raise funds for your next creative project, event, or invention? Or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
This one goes out to all those who are using this skill, levitating and flying at will. Everyone is a creation of God, so Rasta love you still. In the meantime, Asukunya fly up on my house last night. He come around to give me a bite. I turn on the bedroom light. His face look black like night. My wife wake me up and tell me she hearing something strange outside.
Vish, you make out anything in that song there? You wasn't paying attention. Old people stupidness.
I was listening.
Vish is no fun, you know. Anyhow, time to move on. So, we have this fella, I know for some years now. He's a musician, animator, educator at some level, and an all-around cricks. Welcome, Denny Ablack.
Hello.
That was the best welcome ever. So Denny is a guitarist and musician first, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an electrical engineer, yes. First I was a quattro player, and then guitarist, and flute, and you know that annoying instrument in primary school, the recorder?
Yeah, I see people rock out a recorder already, yeah?
Yeah.
I've seen it rocked out.
No, I used to play Good King Wenceslas class like a B, you know. Yeah, you understand?
Yeah, we had a
Yeah. We played in music festival and win, you know, as a primary school against senior schools. But I mean, it's not my credit to it, but it was fun to be able to do it and experience that whole thing.
Yeah.
Performance.
Yeah. So how long ago you'd say that was that you started?
At 7 years old. Because the school had music as one of the subjects.
Yeah.
So there would always be a music period, and you at first you just muck about and all the instruments. They had glockenspiel and all kind of different, yeah. But then they got serious and there's recorder, piano, and this thing, and quattro, because your hand's too small for the guitar. And we played parang. At 9 years old, you're playing in a parang band and thing.
So
yeah.
All right. So for those who know you, right? We know you as a guitarist, Transylvania Zoo with Foreign Exchange with Mike Ross and them fellas and Richardine, right? What's in first?
Mike and Cathy, yeah.
Mike and Cathy, yeah. So we know you as a guitarist and that all around kind of music energy, right? And I've seen you touted as this great super guitarist. And yeah, a really good guitarist, right? But I heard you in an interview recently with Anila. Yeah, you all need to check out Anila on YouTube. Awesome.
Podcasts, yeah. Podcasts which are going into the Trinidad music industry. What is there, what is not there, with a fine teeth comb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you were saying something to the effect of that people assume that at 7 years old you're playing an instrument that is a prodigious.
Yeah.
I say the word wrong.
That you're a prodigy.
That you're a prodigy, right? And you were saying that is not so.
No, you're not a prodigy. It depends on what you learn and what you practice.
Right, but somebody's propensity to practice or want to practice.
There is talent, yes. But in that same story with Anila, I was telling you that even though I'm considered, as you say, one of the top players here, when I was in primary school, I was not one of the top players in my class. George Busby was that, right? And everything came natural to him. But he only did it for school. After school, he stopped doing that. But I persevered and continued because I loved playing the instrument and the music and stuff like that.
Right.
Right. So the natural propensity, yes, there's a thing. Anything he was taught, he immediately was able to do. I had to practice.
Right.
Right. But I guess because I got in the habit of practicing, in the long run, it worked out, you know.
Yeah.
But I always admired that just pure natural ability that, you know, some people have. But I wouldn't say that that's the determining factor.
It's practice.
Yeah. With singing, yes. But on a fretted instrument, no. With singing, remember, your voice is your instrument, which granted to you by evolution or God or whatever you want to call it.
But isn't and there exercises, practices for voice as well? So
yes. But they have ranges too. Somebody who is like men like Dio and thing, no matter how hard you try, you have to be one of those guys who is a tenor.
Yeah.
Or a contratenor, whatever they call it. To be that guy, to do natural voice at that height. Otherwise, you have to do a different kind of voice at that height. But you can still do it, though. You can still hit the notes.
So you're born into a range, but not necessarily into the skill. The skill is trainable. Correct. I mightn't be able to be a soprano that easily, but I could be a baritone or alto.
You could sing with notes because you could change your voice too. You don't have to always be natural voice. And yes, when people are singing and they just sit in the notes, they don't bring the throat sound and the nose sound, and so they are studying and training singing will always make you a better singer.
Right. Or any instrument in that case.
Yeah, well, that was the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
That, yeah, you have natural talent, but you know what? It's easy to tell how good natural talent is, because just listen to people when they now start up. And compared to when they did their 10,000 hours, or, you know, or they have their individuality or their skill or whatever it is their thing is, you know.
Yeah, 10,000 hours specialties. So I actually asked you to come on here to talk about Trinidad music of all types, right? But before we get to there, about you as a musician and your interests in music.
Right.
Where are you going from here? You're going to continue Dread Eye? You're going to start back a band? You're going to...
Well, Dread Eye, we are writing a song right now about the... well, I can't say what it's about. Well, okay, it's about the boats being bombed, right? But it's not... right? I'm not supposed to say that, but... we're writing a song. We writing a song, meaning that Egan's writing the song, and then I come in and color it with the guitar afterward. That's our format with that. With the zoo, it was the opposite. I would be writing a lot of these songs. Egan would write a lot of the songs. It would start from the different guys, and whoever started the song would be the leader of that song. But now with Dread Eye, that's our format. But what I doing personally on the guitar, since the last time you heard me, which was Dread Eye Masters, Assassin, and things like that, it was, how to describe that style of music, is Caribbean progressive rock or Caribbean psychedelic rock, right?
Right.
And I gone a little further with that. I got a lot more Trini, which you all haven't heard, because it's 10 years since I released something, I think. And... I have a fretless guitar which Devin actually made for me, Devin Harry Paul.
Yeah.
And I bought it to play old-time calypso melodies with a sitar, the freeness of a sitar. But when I started to play it, it was so sitarish that now I just play no set of Indian stuff.
Right.
So that's kind of, everything got a little more intense on the cultural side, basically.
Right. But we were talking about your before, your formative years, and how you started up, right?
Right.
But I remember you giving a story about your love-hate relationship with sitars.
Oh yeah, because I'm left-handed. So I went to Adi. In fact, I spoke to Pradeep in the Nagar just a few weeks ago.
Right.
And I was looking at a harmonium to buy. And Pradeep was like, no, don't buy that one. And he explained to me what the inside skinny on how to get a good harmonium at a low price. So I was like, well, how you know all this? He said, yeah, he went to Adesh. I was like, but Adesh is what turned me off of... not to this Adesh, right? But I was left-handed. I went there expressly to learn the sitar because I was already playing and I had my skills on stringed instruments. And they don't have any left-handed sitars. At that time, now we have the internet, so somebody making it somewhere in the world. They didn't have, and the explanation was, you don't want to hear this because it will sound like I'm saying that they're bigoted or whatever. But it was, you know, your left hand unclean, you know, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The religion thing, right? I'm not dissing the religion, but, you know, that's, as a left-hander, we are, I think, about 12% of the world's population. Anything that is anti-left-handed or expressly dismissive of left-handed, as Jamia. Right? Especially as a rock guitarist, like when men hitted me that, I went to a guitar store, Samash.
Yeah.
Somebody hitting me this why don't you just play right-handed? I'd be like, well, listen, I just tell them, you're a rock guitarist. The top rock guitarist is Jimi Hendrix. And the top metal guitarist is Tony Iommi. So maybe you should be playing left-handed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I hate that, but that's just a little angst. But it's not real. It's just, people should keep their mouth shut about things like that, you know?
About the left-handed thing in
Yeah,
particular.
if you're not left-handed, it don't make sense opening your mouth. You just sound like a fool.
What I could add trivia-wise, where so sitars being from India, from that side of the world, right? There's a lot of misunderstanding, I realize, between cultural practice
Right.
and religious doctrine.
Yeah.
So the caste system, just like the left-handed thing, left-handed because most people are right-handed.
Yeah.
You would do things a certain way, right? And I remember my grandfather and a pundit explaining to me, when you're cleaning yourself, you use your left hand.
Yeah.
So you don't use your left hand when you're eating.
That was the
to
reason
eat.
explained to me.
But
that,
but that was a practice. That was not a religious thing.
Yeah.
It's just like I was going to say the caste system. in the doctrines, it explains the different strata in society. It doesn't mean that you're born into it. But the
And let me blow
practice
everybody
is...
mind here.
Yeah.
Everybody. Because my mind got blown a couple of weeks ago because I never knew this, right?
Yeah.
The top rock guitarist, they had touted him and then Jimi Hendrix. He was not a left-hander.
Jimi Hendrix wasn't left-handed?
Jimi Hendrix was a right-hander.
Nah.
I'm telling you facts. When he got his guitar when he was younger, he had nobody to teach him and he had no instruction material. And he started to play left-handed.
Nah.
I'm telling you.
How you, where you hear this? Where you hear this?
I found out this on the internet just a couple of weeks ago. And you know, when I heard it, I was like, that is exactly, tell them, you do it your way, brother. You understand?
Well, that remind me of, you ever hear about Nature Dharma? What was his name he going by
Nature,
now?
I played in
right.
that band.
So,
Yeah.
Make It Happen.
Yeah.
Hear this story, right? You know Make It Happen, the rapper.
Yeah.
Right. So when he was living away and whatnot, right? And when he now came back to Trinidad. So you know this story because you're part of it, right?
I was his bassist playing the bass upside down while he played the guitar upside down.
So Denny couldn't find... Okay, Denny was the bass player.
Yeah.
He left-handed, but he had a right-handed bass. So he learned to play it upside down. And that guy, when he was performing as Nature Dharma, was a right-handed guitarist. And his first guitar was left-handed, so he learned to play that upside down.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Who was the drummer?
Egan.
It was Egan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Egan... Yeah,
me and Egan could write any song anytime. Man.
Only technically married at this point. You know?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. So this is for some people more than a lifetime of music that you've been in,
Yes.
right? And I've always known you. So I would say also you are one of the and continues to be one of my educators in the process, right? Now, is your approach you and Hayden Salick have a very similar thing. That if I could say 1,000 bad things about you, the one good thing that without question is that you'll never see a musician and put them down.
Right.
You would see somebody now starting and scratching and be
I looking
encouraging.
for the good thing in here because that's the thing years later will be your main special thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that is part of where the Trinidad music of all types was born.
Trinidad and Tobago music of all types was born because in my day, it didn't have anything like that. They had musicians feuding, they had genre feuding. That's why the name of the thing is Trinidad and Tobago music of all types. And a lot of times you would have your special friend from a different community of music and you wouldn't have any feuding. And there was a lot of resentment, all kind of different things. So, and when you have a community, if you're alone, there's no connection. If it's me and you, there's one connection. Two people, one connection. Look at what happens exponentially here. With 3 people, you have 3 connections, the same amount. With 4 people, you have 6 connections. It's more than the amount of people. And as you go on, right now with Trinidad and Tobago music of all types with 7,000 connections, 7,000 people, that is 24 million connections. So you have to understand that when you build a community, it's not even what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Some person will be playing Scottish music and post it, and somebody else interested in Scottish music will pick that up and 2 of them will form a project. You understand?
Right.
There's, even in the group, there's a writer from Rolling Stone there who specializes in Caribbean, who did the article on Shadow when he died and things like that, and does most of the reggae articles. There's ministers of culture from other countries. There's all kinds of people. A lot of the musicians, a lot of the people who regularly go to shows and things like that.
Right. So, Trinidad Music of All Types is a public group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which, well, I check it today, 7.1 thousand.
Right.
7,100 members.
7,000,
Yeah. But I was trying to decide for myself, what was it exactly? Is it a curated thing? Is it a what or whatever? So it is a community.
I can give you the information on that. How I run that, I run it as a magazine. Just like how patterned after our favorite magazine. Remember, our day before the internet, our websites were the magazines.
Yeah.
So
Guitar player, etc.
I admin that group like a magazine. So there are 7,000 members, so everybody can't post all the time, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But those who post, they're welcome to post. But if you come to post 15 things, or if every time somebody posts, you're going to post something and push it down, then I have to limit that. Early on, I used to do it manually, but now Facebook has tools. So
Right.
it's easy to do it that way. And then what I like to do is everybody could post. People who post normally, they are not restricted. They could just post. And it fits into the magazine format because they post and whatever they post is different. Because all the communities have at least a representation there, you get your regular country thing. And I'll tell you the secret to why it's like a magazine. Let me say people posting some rock stuff, other people posting some soca, people posting some instrumental stuff, Indian or whatever, etc. I look at what's not there currently. And then I pull out my hardcore heavy hitting post. Because when I post something, it getting anything. 300 views is nothing. I get up to 10,000 views or 3,000 views because I know the interest level. When you're admin a group for, this is the second decade now. When you're admin a group for that long, you know we're going to catch a fire and you know why and you know what the communities are and who's going to share it and all those kind of things. So you get a feel for that kind of thing. So my posts tend to be what's missing.
Right.
So the community posting, so maybe there's no dancehall playing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or so no Tassa playing. Then I'll find a good legendary Tassa player who has a lot to offer in vocabulary and things to hear. I'll put a post of that and things like that. So that's how it's work. So it's not that like I'm leading the group. I am actually complementing what the group doesn't put that cycle.
So in my notes here, I had a general theme, the art of curation with the moderation and
Yeah.
whatnot, but it's not really curation, is it? It's more hosting, or like, oh, you're almost an MC.
I am curating because even though I'm hosting like an MC and everybody doing what they want, I look at it and if it's going outside of the magazine format, I restrict some of it. So if one guy, like there's this one guy, he posting about 20 things.
At a time.
Yeah. He's original songwriter, they're all original songs, they're all appropriate for the group. But you can't do that. Because it's not your group, it's not your website. So you can't dominate the group, but you're welcome to post one. So then what I'll do is I put him on approval, and then when he posts something, I'll wait for long enough and then allow it to come through. So I filter in him.
Right. And
Right.
these are the tools, because
Yeah.
I haven't done
Some guys will come and post a song, and other things post, they'll go down into the group. They'll post that song again. But we can't do that because if everybody who's more aggressive always posting, we'll end up with about 20 or so. And every time somebody open the magazine, they'll see the same things. Those 5 aggressive people will always dominate the group. So I make sure that doesn't happen.
Right. So you're saying this community, this group existed more than 10 years now, in your second decade, right?
Yeah.
At what point you realize you needed to put those controls in? Because I try to
From
picture.
the start, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
All people who try to start groups like this, they reach to 300 members, and then people start quarreling in a toxic way, right? And when that happens, the membership, any increase in membership that happens is accompanied by people leaving in disgust. And I had groups like that. Remember, I had Revolving Door, and I had a content network for Trini things, expecting people will join, and everything somebody posts, other people will share it, and then you'll get that viral quality.
Yeah.
Because that's what the group is, a viral platform for launching things which are not already well known and to brand yourself. When I realized this was happening, I realized, but it's really just 10 people. At them days, they used to call them internet trolls. It's just 10 people just frigging up the vibe. And then me being from my democratic background and thinking, finding ways to dance around them and thing. And then eventually, one day, I get real pissed because one of them started accusing me of being a dictator or whatever. So I was like, you know what? This is nonsense. You're holding back the group. So I formed a new group. I said, I formed a new group. I formed a new group and I decided, from the time you start seeing the trolling your behavior, you put them out.
Right.
Right? That's your right as a group to extend membership. I know it has, well, let me try this. As soon as I try that, breads, 300, it started to exponentially rise. It went to 8,000. Then Facebook changed their rules because, some of the members are not real people.
Yeah.
Facebook changed their rules and they took out all the non-real people and the people just there to just have a fake profile to watch. They took out all those people. It went down to 5,000. And then now it quickly went back to 7,000. That's why that group is like that. Because it's not a whole set of people literally crapping on each other.
Yeah.
It's just people, you post what you like, I'll post what I like, right? And thing. It don't have no set of bringing down. And I guess it's sad in a way that it could be like, well, Denny preventing people from bringing each other down. But no, I don't look at it that way. If Carib have an ad, they have an ad. They advertise in Carib. They don't have a space for somebody to come in and say, nah, me I like Carib and Carib is for passive man. right?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
you do that on your own platform, brother. Right?
Yeah.
This is Carib platform. We promoting Carib. Right? Yeah. And that's how I look at
because I was going to
music all the time. And I write that in the rules. I put we are biased here towards Trinidad and Tobago music. Yeah.
But wouldn't that be given? Because I could tell you I left as probably half of the groups that I ever joined on Facebook because of that. Because somebody will get out of hand or somebody will get so strongly opinionated and suddenly this one opinion matter and you're losing the team, right?
And if my group is 5,000 people or 8,000 and 10 people, well, at the time it's 300 and 10 people causing the group not to rise as it should and to accomplish the mission, because the mission is sharing community and building and growing.
Yeah.
And forming that viral platform.
But
if those 10 people is the problem, let them form their own group and compete.
I guess I guess you were in it for sufficiently long to have seen it move through from not having the tools that are available to you now to having the tools available now. Because
now with the tools you don't have to do that. You're right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you saying it like it's a bad thing to be a moderator, but that's what a moderator does. Is you get the
it's a bad thing to be a moderator when you prevent people from having a voice.
Right.
But people have a voice on Facebook. It's a bad thing not to moderate when you're trying to advertise and promote something. And you put in an equal space for people to pull it down. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's not good strategy, right? So at the end of the day, I decided, you know what? I'll leave the two groups running. The content group, I left it running. And guess what? The trolls made people leave. And I left the other one where the trolls not allowed. And guess what? That grew. It's like one throwing it's like garden snails eating out one of them, and the other one it growing. Right? So right, so the internet decided, I guess,
Yeah. So Trinidad music of all types.
Yeah.
What's the goal?
Right. The goal is all of those things. Currently the goal is identifying what we don't have. So we look at other industries and see what they do have and what works, and then try to simulate it. Right?
What we trying to simulate here? You're talking about the platform,
right? Okay.
Or you're talking about music?
Okay,
and
so
the
not
music
to get
industry.
political or government or whatever. Of course, we have a new government now. The last government had their own drives, and this government have their drives. Rubadiri, who is ACT, he saw what the funding was going to increase, but he also saw, just like we always know, that the direction of where the funding will go, etc., was not informed by the different sectors. So he got all of us who are the leaders in the different sectors, leaders not meaning leader, but meaning we gather the information, we know, we have the information as to what is happening, right?
Yeah.
So I saw Cecilia Salazar being one of the people, there's people in fashion, there's people in all of the different creative arts. And we sent a letter to the government. So now we're waiting to see what meetings will occur and for us to transfer information to them and see what information they'll take and what they won't take. I mean, they have Kama Maraj. I saw him being the Minister of Trade, right? The Sasha Cosmetics guy.
Yeah.
So I assuming that there's an understanding that Trinis start things on a coffee table and it could be taken further,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the process.
Yeah.
That you're applying.
It's a process we'll have to do with any government. I'm not favoring any. Because most of the time we just get stabbed. So and whenever we get something, we have to be happy. So Yeah.
That's a whole other point we'll get to. But I still after the you talk about the process to get things and all the process being attempted right now where they could get some government assistance or not.
Right.
But what's the goal? Like what you gonna ask for Trinidad music of all types?
Well, I mean, I don't have a prepared list right now, but yeah, we have a list of things. You kind of saw most of it on the Anila interview.
Right.
You know?
Because I know
sometimes funding is there for production. Like, look at all these songs. These songs were all self-funded. Right.
the songs that we play in here.
All the songs you're playing on this program, they're all self-funded from people pulling money from their job across.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them have had successful gigs at the time and they saved the gig money. But to record one song, that pulling most of your gig money, right?
Yeah.
And you had to buy equipment and whatever. So you're doing it for love. You're funding it for love. The gig money equalizing you a bit. But on the other hand, to have a music industry, basically you have to produce, and me and Ruby, we both saw this and understand this. You have to produce about 300 songs a year. Hit songs. Hit meaning
Who has said this?
your industry.
Right.
300 a year is considered an industry. Below that is not considered an industry.
Right.
So it's like the Billboard charts. You have 300 songs a year, right?
But is that for our size population? Do we have 300 soca hits?
Yes,
have a
it
soca
is.
industry?
That's the thing. So Jamaica, even though it's a smaller size than the States or whatever, for it to be recognized as an industry, for people around the world to follow it and engage with it, etc., it comes down to about 300 songs. Think about it. How many Jamaican songs are you loving and following right now? Maybe about 3 or 4
Yeah.
current ones. Right. That's out of 300 because that's 3 or 4 that you would like. The rest of them, you're meh, right?
Yeah, but they have somebody else there who would
Yeah. So the quality bringing the quality in that sense to you, to different people. Now, if they had about 100 songs, it would probably not get across to you, or maybe one would get across to you. So, anyway, to record on the current budget, you hear me?
Yeah.
Right. To record on the current budget, 300 songs. Now, we have enough bands, and they have cover bands, but they have original bands writing songs at a slow rate. So the government could direct fund the recording of original songs that are selected for quality, of course. Right? You can't record everybody's song all the time. That's an open check, right? A budget of only 3 million. And man, I mean, we have stadium shows, government funded stadium shows, stuff that 50 million does come and go. And you don't end up with any recorded artifact really that usable from those things, right?
Yeah.
For just 3 million, we could record that whole industry for you for the year. And then the musicians will be able to they'll be able to do it better because they're not scrunting to do it. You understand?
Yeah.
They could be paid as well. Or at least it could be funded there. Because it's their recording, so it'll be understandable if they're not paid because you're funding their recording. They're getting to record the song for free. So it's so simple, but nobody's doing it. So those are the kind of things that we have to propose. We have to explain what's the benefits, and we have to go on so on and go and expatiate on it.
So one of the goals using your platform is to have more music come out. Or have more archived.
The song is the unit of value.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I don't know. I mean, some people will agree or disagree. The song is the unit of value on one side, and on the other side, the person, as we were saying before the show started, the person who was fortunate or unfortunate enough to be born as a musician in Trinidad and Tobago is the person we need to always give work. They need to always have paying work, right? Otherwise, they work for a while and they fly like a kite and then they flop. And sometimes even flop to the point of suicide, or flop and give up on life, or flop and give up on that, right? That's not what you want, especially us personally knowing the level of talent we have here. A Trinidadian musician has that ability because we grew up in a musical environment, not only with American music, but with 3 of the regions of music heavily represented. 4. The American mainstream type of thing, or the mainstream.
Yeah.
The Caribbean and Latin.
Yeah.
The Trinidad music, which is our music. Also, the whole Bollywood Indian music. which is like 2 billion people, because it's followed by Russia and China, more than 2 billion. Bollywood is followed by Russia and China, Chinese people as well too. Is big in those countries. So that's like more than half the world's population. And we grew up being exposed to all of those things. So not only having a natural average human tendency to have talent, there's variety and we know, right? We've been seeing it, right?
But what if so? All right, what I want to get at is how do we quantize what metrics we using? So here's what I'm after, right? Because you're saying when people fly like a kite, you have that, but you have them flopping. Yeah. And to health reasons, suicide, have to find a next job, all this sort of thing. Yeah. But are there quantifiable metrics to define that? Because they would have somebody else who might approach from a different angle and say that it's not for a lack of industry, but for a lack of education. Or it might be for not a lack of education, a lack of supply.
You would have studies and have that whole thing. I haven't done that.
Right, but what I'm saying is so you're an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
Right. You could resolve a problem by first defining it.
Yeah. So
right.
I have reached the layman, if you want to call it, conclusion that the problem that we have is the production of hits. A lot of what we produce, and I love what we produce here, but they are pre-production demos.
Yeah.
A producer has got their hand on it and said, okay, that we're doing this for mass audience, that long intro, keep that in the album version. We're doing a radio version. This song has no chorus, it's on like one long verse. Tralala, you're a great soloist, but we don't need a 2-minute solo, or we need a 4-minute solo, and things like that, right? We don't have that happening. Now,
we don't have it happening at all, or we don't have it happening sufficiently?
We don't have it happening sufficiently. We know all the best produced songs, locally produced, self-produced, that were awesome. And don't need any changing and all those kind of things. But the point is this. Look, Ozzy just died. That's a worldwide event in music, especially in rock music, right?
Yeah.
What was Ozzy? Ozzy was not the greatest singer. He didn't even write the lyrics, right? Ozzy was a person who went into the band room and wrote songs with his band every time. And the song was the value. Like, nobody would say Ozzy is the greatest singer, right? Or the good-looking singer, because, the other thing is, they're good-looking. And no, he wasn't even good-looking. He was a big fat slob, right? But at the end of the day, Ozzy walked into the band room. He heard Tony Iommi playing clong, clong. And he said, that sounded like a big iron bloke shuffling around. And they wrote the song Iron Man. The Geezer Butler wrote the lyrics of Iron Man.
That's what it's okay about.
That's what happened, yeah. So, that song, which is again, we are 50 years later still talking about that song. This song has to be the unit of value. You understand?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So if we recognize that, then we have to focus on the production of the songs. The songs don't have to come from the best looking, most talented singer who have a degree in singing. It had to come from the Aussies out there. The song is unique, it's telling a story. You understand?
Yeah.
It has something special about it. And so that's why I focus on the whole talent search. The whole Trinidad and Tobago music of all types is an open scroll for people to be posting a piece of tassa here, a rock song there. Somebody saying, the last thing we post was how the Catholic the butter was created.
I saw that.
Right.
It's hilarious.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Because the guy had the the right expression, good acting, and right? Yeah. So those are the kind of things that we know, we like, we enjoy. And anybody who own a cat, not to get too ridiculous or absurd, right? Anybody who own a cat know that sometimes you just watch your cat and your cat doing some stupidness and you just enjoy that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's what that song really is about, literal Catholic and butter. It had no innuendo there or... I gotta meet the guy and ask him myself, right?
Well, listen, we have to find this out because cat calls into question something else.
Yeah.
And butter could be bottom, right? So you never know,
Yeah.
right? So,
but let
yeah.
us not digress.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
To me, it's simple. I don't want it to be too complicated, etc. Because then it's beyond my scope.
Right.
I'm not researching. I'm not in you. We're researching the system. I know that I need to identify what songs are out there, and that is streaming into my group. And it is a conveyor belt. Everything's streaming into my group, so I see it coming in. And then it's just to identify it using your understanding of taste and sometimes lack of taste. Because if you're too much into one thing, you would not be able to recognize the other things. Like if
Right.
you're a strict death metal man, you can't curate the group.
Right.
Right, because your taste is there.
That'll be
And
Trinidad
you can't-
music
yeah.
of some types.
Yeah, so my strong point there is my lack of taste, if you want to put it that way. Right? My lack of particular taste. Right?
Right.
So I'm able to recognize the value like a country song that somebody write in South, because South had country, before
Yeah.
the whole rock thing they had country.
Yeah.
Right? And things like that. From there, I guess I should be, as you say now, I realize I'm doing my homework, curate lists in each of the genres
Yeah.
and pull up the hit songs and things, and then those supposed to be up for production.
So, okay. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago music of all types.
Yeah.
Open magazine, conveyor belt of ideas, music, things coming
songs,
through.
yeah.
And I can see
Yeah.
where things that I may not have been exposed to, I would now be exposed to.
Right.
Or things that I hope to be exposed to, I could now find like-minded fellow musicians, creators, etc.
Yeah.
Right. 7.1 thousand members. 7,000 members. 7,000 members.
Yeah.
You
You can
are-
advertise your gig, you can establish yourself as a new brand.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the question is this. You are the only moderator, the only admin.
No Christiana, but she doesn't do anything.
Right. So let's say functionally you are the only one.
Yeah.
Why only one? Why only you? Is there more admin, data collection, analysis that could be derived?
Right. So I was trying to get an admin secretary funded by,
Yeah.
I don't want to say,
By whomever.
by whomever. I wasn't successful in doing that, but I was told to hire them and have them working on produce output, and then
And then that'll
maybe
be the
get funded,
justification
yeah.
for
So I'll hire. I know a person I spoke to already. Sherry, you remember Sherry?
Yeah.
So I could
Remember,
try
we
that.
talking
Yeah.
to a lot of people out here.
Oh,
as
sorry,
well.
not
it's
that Sherry. Yeah.
no.
Lots of
I-
Sherrys.
it's
Yeah.
not the sherry part so much,
Yeah.
but it don't matter if I remember or I don't remember.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It's not about me, no, it's
I'm
about
not saying remember
everybody.
Sherry from that Toko incident in the beach house. and
No,
all.
what? this is all fiction. I
Sorry,
know
yeah,
nothing.
I just made that up.
Yeah. So, but you understand what I get in that is that I'm asking
Yeah,
if
no.
the connection between
I crunch in all the data. When I was doing Soca Hub, I would pull all the data from the back end of YouTube and I would be crunching it.
Right.
But that would take like the whole of Friday. Right?
yeah.
So no, I don't go and crunch the data anymore.
Yeah.
I don't crunch the data for Trinidad and Tobago, and that is a huge monolith. Because if you think about everything that was ever posted there for more than a decade,
Yeah, so-
it's a huge music resource that needs. But I can't do that myself. I need national funding to
Yes.
crunch that data and everything everybody ever posted, and it has everything. I mean, it has things like a Danish pan band that's popular and touring on Danish TV.
Yeah.
It has Trinis who went in Germany and were stars. It has people like Winifred Atwell, the Trinidadian piano player who had the first black woman to be a number one. And she was number one in several countries, and she had like palace-type houses all over the world. A star, a real star.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it, we don't even know about her.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I say we, I know about her. Right?
Right.
But
So-
yeah.
So if Trinidad and Tobago music of all types
Yeah.
generating this much information, well,
Yes.
in computer terms, it'll be generating data. It's not information yet until you crunch it and put it into a usable
Well
format.
said, yeah.
Right? Now, even that's a resource for information. for data to be turned into information. But that's on one end of the stick.
Yeah.
On the other end of the stick, we have 300 hit songs in the country.
Right.
There are many steps other than just crunching the data into information, then implementing that information. Are there what steps thereafter? Because
Right, yeah, because obviously because of limited resources.
now, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not asking.
Go ahead.
I'm not asking necessarily that you name all these steps.
Yeah.
But your specialty here in this process from data to
I'm making
To-
only
to
data
hits.
rise
Good.
and come up, yeah.
right. How far along that stick is Trinidad and Tobago music of all types going to travel beyond the data turn into information? Because that's your next step, to turn your
Right.
data into information.
So that data and information has several uses. You have everything from every aspect of the music industry, from instrument making to contacts we have out there in a different country to, like in Japan, the whole pan fandom and pan playing. In New Zealand, the fact that Loquan died now.
Yeah.
Loquan went out there and spread it in the faculty in New Zealand. That's why we selling pans. To pan tuners traveling the world. All of that information and data is there for other trainees and anyone else to join in those industries.
Yeah.
And listen, those examples I drew are one out of 200-300 different examples which are industry based. I come off the song thing now. We acknowledge the song point. The song being the value, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to the people now, there are all of these different things. You know, even look the other day, artist called me and it's like, hey, I want you to manage me. I'm like, everybody want me to manage them. What you want? What you need? He needs somebody to call around to the clubs and book gigs for him. That's like, well, no, all we need,
A booking agent and a manager is two different things.
they don't even need that. Because of the data that's in the group, you're seeing flyers for all the gigs. So you're seeing all the locations that have gigs.
And what type of gigs?
And what type of gigs. So you could just filter through that group and see everywhere that you need to call to.
But no.
Yeah, yeah, but I should gather that information and post up a venue listing and
But so you see what
that's what I need the admin secretary to do.
That's the point
Yeah.
there, because right now it's data. Nobody going to go through
Yeah.
that tedium.
And notice we just talk
necessarily.
about one type of data there.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
that's
Yeah.
one use.
Yeah. One of the things
one thing that could
musically
be
that a
extracted.
trainee musician always faces, well, unless you stream yourself away from it, is what is Trinidadianness in playing? Again, hardcore into the being. What is Trinidadianness? And it's all over there in the group. And plenty people who the Trinidadianness is in their music. They don't even know how to read or write music. It's people who sing in, and they get by absorbing it through osmosis. You understand? And they're putting it out there with the feel and the vibe, because feel and vibe and melodies are spontaneous things sometimes. Sometimes the instrumentalists can't get that because they haven't gone to the phrasing level of being a player, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's every single thing you could think about music and any angle you could think of, all the data, as you call it, correctly, is there, and yes, it's there to be mined and analyzed and to pull it out and to be used to develop further.
So that is your next step.
That is the next step with the admin secretary. I need one more person. If I had, because that one person could be directed to do all of these things. You understand?
Yes.
After that, that's the minimum squad. After that, if we get the more people we get, we could always do better. We could have strategies, we could have a marketing professional and all those kind of things, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next step.
Yeah. Look even on sponsor list. Everybody talking about sponsors. There are some people who know how to get sponsors, and it's very simple. There are other people who don't know how to get sponsors. They don't know who the sponsors are. But when you pull up the flyers, all the sponsors listed on the flyers.
Right.
You understand?
Anyway, I guess this would be a more tech question for whoever the professional is who's going to be crunching the information. But all these use cases for the information to be derived.
So let me just interrupt for a second and we go back to
sure.
all of these things are technically administrative governmental type functions which could be done that way. I trying to simulate it because remember, I can't sit down and wait for nobody to do it.
Yeah.
Because, and my reason is, in my days it wasn't there. So if I don't do it, if the people who understand something needs to be done don't do it, it's not gonna get done. Right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's being done. But obviously, I can't let go of my time, resources, and life to do everything. So yeah, it's come down to needing to have the admin secretary. Yeah.
Agreed. I see that. But what I get in at now is, with the examples, let's use the examples that we already established there, right? Somebody want to look for sponsors. So you have this list of all these shows and people saying what they did and what they didn't do and whatever. So you have 7,000 musicians who posting up different things. You're seeing gigs, the range of gigs, was popular, was not popular. So I looking for gigs. I could derive that somewhere in that information yet to be crunched.
At one point, I did a survey and I had 100 venues,
Right.
That was a decade ago.
Hold on.
And,
That is exactly my point.
Yeah.
That the use case is dynamic.
Yes.
So a list of sponsors today may not be relevant a week from now or a month from now. There's a finite amount of time that it'll be valid,
No, but
right?
I'm good at getting feedback. So if I have the list and some, like we say I had, not Queen's Hall, I had Pelican on the list.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, Pelican no longer active. That'll come up and that could be removed.
So
people engage with that and it'll be easy to take that feedback.
So at the risk of bordering on a little bit rude here, and I don't mean to be. I certainly don't mean to be.
No.
But it's to point out and to kind of reiterate something I was asking before, because you said, I real good at, and I'm not doubting that you're good at it.
Yeah.
But that's the point I was making before. That's you.
Yeah.
And if you want to do this at a national, a very holistic level like that, then it can't be Denny.
No, I
Like,
made efforts. I made efforts to get the government on board, etc. in different times. But remember, when people already have their ministry, etc. and thing, you're an outsider in that sense.
Yeah.
So, and I say we're making a new effort to get the government on board, because at the end of the day, I could pay the salary, but then it's coming out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So at some stage, I need the funding.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to monetize it, which I can do. And then do it, but then it becomes exploitation. I don't want to be involved in monetizing this. This is being done for the community because I was a community member. But at the end of the day, that's the two options you have. You're helping the government do their job better in a sense. And therefore you want participation. But a lot of times, you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
The reality don't always match the fantasy. But if somebody approaches the government for funding and they don't get it, and they shut down, then that's the difference between them and what I'm doing.
So you mentioned earlier also that one of the next steps is that you called Rubidary Victor's name.
Yeah.
And you said that you all would have gone to the government.
We wrote a letter and we waited on a response.
So you're waiting on a response for that.
Yeah.
That's fine. But in that process, so the government is not musicians or whatever. There's politicians and administrators at a different level, right? And this is not specific to current government.
What
any
we
government.
do know is that they're budgeting a higher number.
Yeah.
So we want that number to be put to the right use, because that arts funding could be fizzled away. You know, I mean, you work in the arts industry.
Yeah.
It could be put to good use or it could be fizzled away. I'm not saying that it is fizzled away. I'm saying it could be. We see some big things happen the way it's fizzled away, and we see nitty-gritty things where it's put to good use. Yeah.
But my question here is, do you think that you, Rubidary, the creatives behind it, who gathering this information, is the need for these things recognized by the government? Is that the first step with the government, or do they recognize a need and know the diversity of the need is what needs to be?
All the governments and that we've dealt with and all the people we've dealt with, they're all individually different. It depends on who's in the position at that time.
I'm talking currently.
Right. We don't know yet. We haven't spoken to that guy. We haven't gotten the meeting yet. That's what the letter is for.
Oh, okay,
When we get
okay.
meeting,
So
then we'll know what that guy think. We know he have the funding, and we know that funding. He needs to know where he put in that funding.
Yeah.
So we could only give him information that he could say no or yes to. So we can't lose. Whatever he's gonna do anyway. If what we explain to him by providing him information, not data, information, then he could start doing things our way to a degree. Still do things his way and do it. Or he could not, in which case we haven't lost anything. And we continue to operate the same way we have. So there is not a no-lose situation. You either get nothing which you're already getting, or you progress by getting something. But you're not getting something by approaching them for something for you. You're providing them with information. Yeah.
But I want to believe just the fact that X amount of funding was assigned in the budget.
Yeah.
Officially. I want to believe that there is a recognized need for support of certain cultural developments.
Yeah, but remember, Gov works in mysterious ways. So when funded goes into something, you don't know what I funded him out for. So you have to respect that.
Yeah.
Throughout the time, there's never been a case where the arts people get nothing. Because remember, when funding come in, something had to come. Because then it would be very, very, very suspicious. Well, I mean, you have to assume some people want to do some good things, right?
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll go. So at the end of the day, look at the whole creativity stuff and stuff like that. I'm not casting judgment on anything. I'm just making general statements, obviously.
Yeah.
I, as a person doing animation and writing thing, I got pulled into that whole thing because there was government funding for animation activity. Because remember, if one animation IP succeeds from Trinidad, like how Harry Potter succeed, or even on a smaller scale, something that succeeded, like how the school teacher J.K. Rowling who write the books, that succeeded on a level that's more than our oil industry. Not saying that we have succeeded or we will succeed or we'll succeed on that level, but you have to put funding that industry is a no-brainer. You have to fund that industry because that could lead to a type of growth that we, with no natural resources, no mineral resources and stuff that we could have access to. And so the previous government did fund it to the stage where Banana Boat, which me and Naveed had developed, we went and I pitched that in Kids Screen. You understand?
Yeah.
With big industry people, medium industry people, small industry people, etc. So yeah, I mean, the funding does go into something, right? But sometimes you get frustrated because the funding never goes into production.
Yeah. Put an extra Transylvania Zoo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I leave my mic on. People probably heard the secrets I was telling Fish.
Oh. Yeah, so what I'm saying is one of the things that we have to encourage them to do is to fund production. Because at the end of the day, the unit of fashion is not how much tuition and everything is an output, is a dress.
Yeah.
Is a polo t-shirt. A Ralph Lauren polo t-shirt.
Yeah.
Something like that. The unit of music, etc. is not only money you put here and this is the songs. You understand?
Yeah.
And so on. So that's the unit animation is an episode that we could watch or a movie we could watch. So those are the kind of things that the people with the skills and the ability to do it don't have the funds to do it. And the people with the funds not funding it. They're trying to fund the trickle down thing. Right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the funds come in and go and they're being put to good use in a sense. But at the end of the day, after more than a decade of animation work in Trinidad, we don't have a movie to look at. We have an episode here and there.
Yeah.
Mostly a short episode, but we don't have a series. We don't have a movie. And those things are achievable and fundable.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's part of the thing, yeah.
All right, Denny. So we close to be running out of time, right? We'll take a very short break, right? And come back and...
To get the yellow water?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we'll get that after. Yellow water being bears, okay? Bears, not piss.
Yeah.
Yellow water, I know other yellow water jokes.
Is it allowed that I have on this t-shirt saying Tommy's? Is it not?
I should say no. No, you could wear what you want. Freedom of expression.
Okay. So. No, I'm now seeing that is that on the video. My head for it looking big boy. Yeah. for 5 head.
Yeah, I like how much you fit into this as at a conversational level.
Yeah.
But this is a conversation with me, you, and a lot of people online. Right?
Listen, it's like when I walked in here, notice I have on a red t-shirt, I have on black jeans and white shoes.
Sure. Yes, I did.
Yeah, then I realized that I dressed as the Trinidad flag unintentionally.
You dress as our radio.
Right.
Look at the wall behind you.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, that's what I saw.
Okay.
Which is our radio, is Trinidad radio
Right.
as well. So
No, but I didn't know y'all were even in this red theme or anything.
you didn't?
No.
You did.
I
You
saw
did.
chromatics, and it's always be like a room full of men singing reggae and be like, "Pow!" Ba, 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 ba. So I didn't watch the wall.
Yeah. So let me ask you this
Yeah.
one question before we take a short break, and then we'll come back to close off the interview. At the risk, actually no, I don't mean this politically.
Yeah.
I don't mean this politically in comparison with previous governments or anything.
Yeah.
But the current situation that we're in, do you have faith or hope that we're going to get lifted
Okay.
culturally?
What me or Rubadiri or Cecilia Salazar or whoever, we representing the community that we're from. We're not representing any one of the parties, obviously. So we have to represent it in good faith and get the information to them and let them do what they're doing. Over the years, as I said, to predict the future, we have to look at the past, right? From the past, things have happened. I pointed out the key things which haven't happened and other things which have happened. And we have to guide that by saying, no, we have to push. There must be production output, funded output, so on thing, to tentpole the industry and blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, sometimes you walk into a room and the person who is there is not there, no disrespect to anybody. They're not there because they are an artist who has been in the arts industry for any time or spent time researching these things or dealing with the community. They're there because of another process of elections and however that works, having a profession which might be a lawyer, not a musician and stuff like that. So our job could only be to go there and feed them with information. They might not be open to it, or sometimes they would be. And then where the funding going and where's earmarked for and this kind of thing, those are the cryptic things, as I say, Gov works in mysterious ways, right?
Yeah.
We can't worry about that. I don't think Kes depended on the government to succeed in what he was doing. We have to think of it that way. The government is another factor, but it's not the only factor.
Yeah. I was just asking if you had good hopes in the future, because I don't I personally don't believe that you wait for the government or anybody.
No.
You have to get up and do what you're doing, which is what you have been doing, right?
If you look at Trinidad and Tobago music of all, if I wait on the government, they would never have a group. If you look at Trinidad and Tobago music all the time and look at the posts, and you see a lady who left Trinidad and she's a star in Germany, or you see Kes, the band, a live and direct story now, or you look at Trinidad artists touring the Caribbean, etc., you will see that no, it doesn't wait on the government. These things are happening and they can happen, and there's networks. What the group will show you, if you're a young Trinidad artist, is, all right, these are the people. You read the production credits, you go to that studio. You understand? It's information, as you say.
Yeah.
Right? It's information when you use it, right?
Yes.
And it's data when it just sits there. So no, everything is there, and that's what we have to go ahead and do. I could fund the admin secretary, I just don't want to do it because it's money leaving my pocket.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how sustainable is that when you think about it?
No, I hire people all the time to do different things. So
right, but then it'll be
pulling from one business.
That'll be Denny's music of all type. It needs to be Trinidad and Tobago music of all type. So you have to go a little broader than that. That's what I mean, is that it's not sustainable in that sense, that it becomes private.
And you know what? People are invited to analyze the data because everything readable off the front end of the group.
Right.
Yeah. So it don't have to be me alone. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
It is Denny because nobody else doing it, but they have 7,000 members in the group too. I'm not dissing the members, of course, right? I love my members.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I agree with you on both sides of it,
Yeah. So let's take that break. This song was funny enough that this song was chosen.
Yeah.
And
They wouldn't know what that is.
They wouldn't know what that is. Yeah, so I playing the song in hopes that you transcend the virtual and find the real versions of the support that you need.
Yes.
We'll be right back in a moment.
Well, if we talking to the people, so. But you can get the idea, though. I should try to get.
This friend, this imaginary friend, and he comes into my mind. He sneaks up from behind, and he shows me the world with this big blue spotlight. Oh I've got this friend, this imaginary friend, and he comes into my mind, and he sneaks up from behind, and he shows me the world with this big blue spotlight. Yeah. And he smiles, and he smiles, and he smiles at me. He does the dance of an Indian shaman in Papaloa Fireline. My friend, he whispers softly, I've been waiting for my night.
Yes, so that was Imaginary Friends by Transylvania Zoo. So let me ask you, Denny, like trivia, right? Who was the guitarist? Yeah, that was his band back in the days. Look, Rahel saying Sir Paul McCartney is play guitar, sitar left-handed. Wow.
Right.
Well, he didn't say wham, but I asked him wham. Where nobody given to the music quiz where.
Nothing.
Don't worry. We'll get people to look it up and whatnot. So we had encouraged people to go and check out the Trinidad and Tobago music of all types. For those of you creatives out there, Denny's been here talking about Trinidad and Tobago music of all types, which is a group you can search up on Facebook. It currently has 7,000 plus. I don't know why I ignored the 0.1. 7.1 thousand.
You had to bust some style, so you had to say 7,000 like you're okay now. You know, but because think about it, if I go around saying I have 7127 members, it'll sound like a real watching, like a real squinting for members.
Or people will think you're a nerd, and we are proud nerds, you know.
Nah, I say 7,000 because that's how I remember it.
Yeah.
When it's around 6.3 and 6.7, and then I just say 6.5.
Or you could just round off to the nearest million.
Yeah, that could work. Except it is be like you ever see like a local song that nobody's listened to, and when you go on it have like 1 million views or whatever. It'll be like,
Yeah. We don't want to say it, but we like that song. That's like me and Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Nah, I say I just have certain Britney Spears songs I like more. Although I discovered
I love friggin' Britney Spears.
Mark Ronson have a better version of Toxic.
I never hear that.
Yeah,
I
anyway.
love Britney Spears. If you have a line, well, you know my best friends is be nice looking girls. When you line with nice looking girls and they hear Britney Spears, the effect it have on them, then you understand it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Denny,
It
thanks.
make them feel a little. Yeah.
So we had to get back to some music. We passed the memories hour. We go into we call it the request hour, but it's really the Vish hard rock section. So Denny requested a song from back in the days. If anybody can name it, they'll get 10 points.
You got it?
Yeah. No, I was reading some of them notes there. So Denny, thanks for coming, and I wish you all the luck and fortune in getting these things done, getting the messages to the government, the powers that be, and the information to us, for us.
For me, as you know, I enjoy doing all this thing. I enjoy dealing with the community and dealing with everybody. So I don't need luck. We just keep doing it. But I acknowledge, yes, the data can be handled better and more effectively and to great benefit.
Well,
yeah,
it's to be done. We recognize what we need to do, and we just add in and grow in from there. To me, it's all growth, because this did not exist at some point, and it exists now to be used. We don't have to now set it up. It's set up. It's there.
And
so it's in a way, it's a great service that you've started.
You don't even have to call it work, because when I wake up in the morning and I turn on a group and I press play on something, I love it. It's like I don't have to go searching around to get my trendy music. I see it. And you know what? If I like something enough, I can call I was the admin in the group, so I come like very well known. I can call people and deal with them and play music with them or go to their gig and come on.
Yeah.
This is life.
So with that, Denny, I'd like to thank you for coming through and for sharing this information. You're doing a great service, and we're all grateful for it. So we're going to go back to some more music. This song was requested by Denny from actually one of my old favorites. This is one of the reasons I switched the bass from guitar. This is Brothers Grimm with a song called Green. Right. So that was Rahil with Yin Yang Angel. Rahil saying it's been 1,000 nights since she followed me home. And see, now the song started with a dog barking and ended with a dog barking. It'll be really awesome if this song is about your dog. I was talking to Denny in between, so I didn't quite follow the lyrics. Sorry about that. Yeah, and before that was Green by Brothers Grimm. That is, that's a legendary old band who kind of inspired me to go along the lines of bass as opposed to playing guitar. That was, you know who's the guitarist from that, Vish?
Who?
From Brothers Grimm? Francesco Emmanuel. Known as Vish. Did we sap you of all your youthful energy?
I look so.
You're behaving like you know
Sleep.
you're in a mischievous mood earlier. Now you're
Oh my God.
what we do here? What we do here?
Jokes for the whole
The poor fella.
Hardcore.
Talking about all them sort of stupidness. Yeah. The drummer from that band is the late Andrew Moffat.
Who we love.
Who we love. He was a cool guy. Actually, he was the singer of the band. That was the amazing thing.
Yeah.
The first time I saw them, I was like, what? The bass man and guitarist just...
Well, I requested this song, and when you put it on and I hear Andrew's voice, I started to feel it.
Yeah. So, all right, Vish. Here we'll make it up fair, right? Here we'll make it up fair. Because we play an old people thing and talking once that old people's stupidness, right? The grandpas will stay quiet now and let you go back to how you was wilding up before. Let's get a little hard before we go out here. We have just under 30 minutes to go. Maybe I could carry you by Chris Bar afterwards, so I don't know. You're still recovering?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you need a little hair, the dog. I don't drink, but I could watch you drink and feel like young again. So yeah, Vish. Let's see what Vish have in line for us. If you all have any requests, feel free to put it up in the chats. Check out the Donate 68 link at the top of the chat there on YouTube. And yes, Rahil, we're gonna check the video out as soon as I done here. Yeah, Vish, take it away. Show us what you got.
freedom, fight for your island. This land was given to us by the gods, but now this bold-faced, pale-faced taking it from us. From us. Classic, classic, Niboyo, classic. Bring down pale-face, not gonna accept defeat. Classic, classic, Niboyo, classic. Bring down pale-face, not gonna accept defeat. Dead of the night, warriors are go strike. To the death, classic warriors are go fight. So where's your axes in the air, enemy? Strike! Let them pale-face know what we mean. What I mean, classic, classic, Niboyo, classic. Bring down pale-face, not gonna accept defeat. Classic, classic, Niboyo, classic. Bring down pale-face, not gonna accept
Jade Telegraph, Stand on My
No, that was the
Chest,
ending of the Jade.
featuring Harsh.
That's a dread pedal.
How you pronounce that? Harsh what?
Agawal.
Agawal, Harsh Agawal. Right. And before,
Agawal is the person.
right. So that was, you're right. It was a person.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Before that, Napoyo Kasik by the Supernormal Band, War Machine by Circle Square, The Offended by Hail the Hatter, and If Murder Was Free by Fighting with Noise. So, folks, thanks everybody for coming out. Yes. Have a good night, DJ Kelno and Vish. Vish slowly sneaking in. You know, I think I chose like 2 songs out of the whole night. Vish was kind of responsible for all the rest of the madness. Then he chose 1, I chose 2. Vish, you could blame him. So we now at the end of another episode. Thanks everybody for signing in, for paying attention, for subscribing to the show. Please check out the Donate 68 link. Help us keep the lights on, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Vish, I feel we should end with the biggest, baddest, hardest tune that you could think of, played by hard guitarists of Stone. What you have lined up for me there? Good night, everybody. Thank you to our guest, Denny, and for everybody for signing in. Good night. Take it away there, Vish.